Hey guys, this is a short video format I'm trying here. So I recently have joined into this kind of like hype train of Clubhouse. And for people who don't know what is about Clubhouse, it is a voice-based social networking app. Have all these kind of chat room talk about interesting topics, right? So I joined in lots of UX design related chat room, and this one is labeled as how you break in to the UX design field from, let's say, from a UX bootcamp or from a different field, right? For example, and one of the guys, the designers in the room, asking a question like he's kind of like struggling to find jobs during this pandemic. He's trying to networking, but how to appear to be genuine. And coming from a video design field, he have no idea how to break into the field. So this is one little recommendation I gave it to him. Is for the people who like to break into the field and actually want to show you have passion toward the job, toward this career, right? It's actually to build a concept design for your dream company, right? So let me explain. So about 13 years ago, when I was transitioning my career from industrial design to UI UX, I facing exactly the same problem. At that time, I heard a story about a designer at IDEO. He used to working. He starting his career as a financial background, working in Wall Street, and but he really want to be a UX designer as well as really want to join IDEO, but he have no experience at all. So what gives, right? So he heard in the news, IDEO is working with the Denver airport to redesigning their security line. So, oh, I heard this news. So he just fly to Denver and actually sit at the security line, interviewing with every single person who walk out of the security line, taking observation pictures, doing the fly on the wall observation, and he able to conduct all his research and making a product slash design proposal to IDEO. So IDEO looking at his piece is like, okay, you have no design experience at all, but I see your drive. I able to as a product designers work, talking heart to heart, mind to mind, and having a real product design discussion, right? So from the hiring manager perspective, this actually at least solve two problems. Number one, I able to know your drive, knowing you are so passionate about the career and my company, and able to take this extra step to doing this volunteer concept design project, right? And another kind of like the benefit on top of it is the domain gap, right? So when you present your portfolio, you're always presenting your past work, the project you work at in the schools or in the UX bootcamp, but you always have to explaining the domain context too for the hiring manager to understanding the context of the problem you try to solve. But if you build a concept project for this target company, you actually don't need to explain because they know their own company pretty well, right? So you at least have this two problems solved. One is knowing your drive and solve the domain gap. Worst case scenario, if you did not get the job, right? But let's say you didn't have any experience working with product managers, engineers, or your product designer peers, right? This is your chance, right? Because once you self-volunteer to build this concept design project, they owe you. They owe you feedbacks. They owe you real feedback, and you're able to collecting those feedback and make this project a great piece in your portfolio. Take myself, for example. If you go to everywhere.com, you'll see a few projects actually, a few portfolio piece actually is coming out of this interview volunteer concept projects, right? I will take a weekend, maybe more than maybe 3 days of my time, and really go to end to end. I will interview a user. I will analyze the market problem. I will brainstorming and choosing, explaining my rationale of how I choosing a concept. I will build a prototype, and even when I was showing this piece to the team, I will incorporate the feedback into some of the follow up discussion we have regarding this concept design piece, right? So some of the company I have using this methodology, the result is actually they are very impressed. Like some people just give me the offer on the spot, right? So that is my recommendation for any people who want to break into UX design field in order to impress your hiring managers, your recruiting team. You're really passionate about the job, and Yeah, and one disclaimer. I do feel like this methodology is very, very time consuming. If you're interviewing 15 companies, you will not have 15 weekends to actually work on this concept project for like one by one basis. But for your dream company, one to two dream companies you really, really want to get in, this is a little tips I offer to you guys, and hopefully it's helpful. I'll see you in the next video.